So, welcome back to our reading of Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Suzuki Roshi. And today, beautiful day to sit down and contemplate the teachings. Snowing outside, cascading snow from the sky, beautiful. And there's a feeling you get off the snow when it falls. It's so silent, it's so gentle, and it is beyond description in some ways. It is what it is, the snow falling. It's falling here in the window. It's late January in 2021, and really that feeling of snow is what we're sensing is just its isness, its being, its quality of being. And that really is what Suzuki Roshi is talking about today, the quality of being. And the quality of being is something that just is in the moment. So we apprehend the truth of things here and now. The quality of being, when you do something, if you fix your mind on the activity with some confidence, the quality of your state of mind is the activity itself. When you're concentrated on the quality of your being, you are prepared for the activity. The purpose of Zazen is to attain the freedom of our being, physically and mentally. According to Dogen Zenji, every existence is a flashing into the vast phenomenal world. Each existence is another expression of the quality of being itself. The word for the Buddha, Tathagata, the one, thus come one, the one who comes, the one who has come, the one who has come and passed through, emphasizes this quality of being, this Tathagata, this as it is-ness. And in a way, Suzuki Roshi is pointing us towards this quality of being today in this teaching. When we see things as they are, with nothing added, nothing taken away, we see reality. We see the truth of things. We see the truth of things unmediated through our likes and dislikes, through our opinions, through our pain and joy. We just see. And I think that's why we get a sense of peace and calm sometimes when things like the snowfall, the snow is falling, or when we're in nature, we sense this quality of being. It's easier somehow to see things with just as they are. When I see the snow falling this morning, I sat Zazen, opened the curtains, and there's the snow falling. And I just appreciate it for itself. I sense its quality of being. Dogen is drawing up in this, Suzuki Roshi is drawing on in this teaching today from a teaching of Master Dogen. And he's talking about the Dharma position of things. So one of the teachings of Master Dogen. Let's see how Suzuki Roshi communicates this. Everything is just a flashing into the vast phenomenal world, means the freedom of our activity and our being. If you sit in the right manner, with the right understanding, you attain the freedom of your being, even though you are just a temporal existence. Within this moment, this temporal existence does not change, does not move, and is always independent from other existences. In the next moment, another existence arises. We may change to something else. Strictly speaking, there is no connection between I myself yesterday and I myself in this moment. There is no connection whatsoever. Dogen Zenji says, charcoal does not become ashes. Ashes are ashes. They do not belong to charcoal. So, Suzuki Roshi here is really drawing on the Genjo Koan, the great teaching offered by Master Dogen, in 1233. He writes this work, the Genjo Koan, for a lay practitioner in 1233. And in this he says, that ash does not become firewood again. So just as death does not again become birth, or birth does not again become death. So ash does not become firewood again. Everything resides in its Dharma position. This is the teaching of the Genjo Koan, and this is what Suzuki Roshi is sharing today, although he just alludes to it in that chapter. It's an old teaching of Dogen's. So this points to the reality that this is the moment of our awakening, that this is the moment of our liberation, this is always the moment of our enlightenment. That ash does not become firewood again, although firewood has a past and firewood has a future, or ash has a past as firewood and a future as whatever the ash becomes. But it is this moment that is, if you will, it is this moment that is pregnant with reality. It is this moment that is full of its vibrant truth. And this is, again, pointing to the empty nature of things, or the boundless nature of things, the way things really are. That the me of yesterday and the me of tomorrow have no substance, no real substance, and that the me of now is the only thing really with any substance. And if we examine that too, we'll see that that itself is also empty or boundless. So in this moment of existence, this very moment, we can apprehend the truth. This is when our liberation and enlightenment is possible and is truthful and is available to us. And this is the quality of being that Suzuki Roshi is talking about. And he says, today I'm sitting in Los Altos, tomorrow morning I'll be in San Francisco. There's no connection between the I in Los Altos and the I in San Francisco. They are quite different beings, but in another way, of course, they are part of the one unified truth. It's a profoundly non-dualistic teaching, in that my personal identity and yours are separate and at the same time one. And this is also being pointed at today by Suzuki Roshi. And this also involved in this teaching today is of course re-emphasizing the teaching of transience, that everything passes. And Dogen Zenji, the chapter today ends with Dogen Zenji's moment when he was a child, and he sees a stick of incense burning beside, because his mother's died, and he sees the stick of incense burning, and he realizes the great transience of all things. And he becomes interested in Buddhism, and he begins to explore the way. Master Dogen, when he was young, both his parents were dead, and when his mother died, he was a very young boy, and he was very much impressed by and struck by the transiency of all things. So not only do all things have their Dharma position, and this moment is the moment of our awakening and our liberation, where we apprehend the quality of being, where we apprehend the way things are, the isness, the thusness of things, beyond any kind of description, but just truthful in the most profound and direct way. Not only that teaching is being offered this morning by Suzuki Roshi, but also this transience, this empty nature of time, this empty nature of past, present, and future. Ultimately, this transience which brings Master Dogen to see the incense burn beside the dead body of his mother, and he commits himself to the way. And many years later, at the age of 28 in China, Master Dogen experiences the dropping off of body and mind, as it's called. And at that moment of enlightenment, Dogen exclaims, "There is no body and no mind." When he said no body and no mind, all his being in that moment became a flashing into the vast phenomenal world, a flashing which included everything, which covered everything, and which had immense quality in it. All the phenomenal world was included within it, an absolute independent existence. That was his enlightenment. So, very much described in terms of Shakyamuni Buddha's original enlightenment, which we remember each 8th of December in Rohatsu, this realization by Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree on the 8th day of the 12th month, that himself and all sentient beings, and indeed the whole universe, were enlightened at that moment in past, present and future, where he sees into the direct, empty and boundless nature of all things. So Dogen's enlightenment is being remembered by Suzuki Roshi in this chapter today, very much in terms of that enlightenment of the original Buddha. So the quality of being. We move on next time to naturalness on page 107 of Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. So I look forward to meeting you then. And in the meantime, try and sit Zazen, try and enter that still state of Zazen every day in your life. Let it settle you, let it bring you home to yourself, let it bring you home to the truth of all things. And enjoy your practice and enjoy your life.